Passion is killing your Roblox development career. Here's the problem. Most devs think passion is the solution to having a successful career on the Roblox platform. I'm here to tell you this is false. Passion is important, but passion alone is why most devs fail. See, if you're just following your passion, you're just making whatever you feel like. But what you feel like making isn't always what players want to play. And what you feel like doing isn't always the move that will push your career forward as a dev. But what's the alternative? Strategy. Strategy is the plan that takes your career and turns it into something sustainable and lucrative. And a huge part of that is focusing on making money. Making money is fundamental to game development. Now, the minute you mention making money on Roblox, people love to pour into comment sections and say, well, now you're just saying just to make cash grabs. You're saying to only make games for money. Incorrect. You can make money, you can focus on that, and you can continue to make things you love at the same time. You can make high quality creations and you can monetize them as well. Now, the problem is when you think in the hobbyist mindset, it makes you believe that profit corrupts creativity. Now, the problem is in the modern Roblox marketplace, the hobbyist mindset's beliefs are deadly to building a career on this platform. The reason for this is Roblox is a highly competitive global marketplace. It is not your sandbox where you play and just build whatever you want anymore. This is not 2012. This is 2025. And increasingly, Roblox games are products rather than just art pieces. And when games are products, we have to think of things like a businessman. We have to think about the market. We have to think about what players want. We have to think about competition and how to beat them. When you're thinking this way, you become a competitor. No wonder hobbyist thinking is so common and strategy first thinking is so rare. If every dev thought strategy first, there would be so much more competition. This is why top devs love to gatekeep this way of thinking, because it would create more competitors for them if people like people in my community come out and start making games from a strategy first perspective. But I'm here to break the dam. I'm here to make devs aware of how Roblox development actually works. The way it works is this. I'm going to explain it to you right now. When Roblox is a business, that means that we must think about what people want. We want to serve their desires. We want to solve their problems. That's what games do. Grow a Garden solves the problem of wanting a fun, simple game to play, especially on a mobile device. And this has successfully fulfilled the desire of millions of players around the world. That's why it has millions of players at any given time online. They solved a problem. They didn't just magically get lucky. This was calculated through strategy first thinking. The game is meticulously designed to hook you, to keep you coming back, to entice you to spend money. Heck, the game is designed to make you think about it 24/7 because your garden grows overnight. That makes it so there's an open loop in your mind. There's a cliffhanger. You want to know what is going to happen to your garden. How is your garden going to look the next day? It always stays in the back of your head. Understand, a key aspect of strategy first thinking is understanding how player psychology works. Player psychology is what you want to design your game around. Rather than just designing your game around passion and what you love, right? That's an aspect for your creativity, but it's not the whole picture. Roblox is a market alignment game. So when you align with what players want, your game will grow. Now, the problem is most devs are hobbyists who think tapping into player psychology is bad. Truth is, these devs are tapping into player psychology no matter what. Even if you think player psychology is wrong and focusing on it is evil and that it's just manipulative devs who do it, your game is still going to tap into player psychology either way. These things are still going on. These dynamics still exist underneath the surface. You're just doing it worse than the devs who actually understand it. Now, a key aspect of player psychology is understanding what the players want. The way that you figure out what people want is not by racking your brain for what you think would be fun, but rather for looking at what is successful right now, scrolling through the Roblox front page, looking at memes that are blowing up, looking at trends in the world. All of these things will show you the path to making a Roblox game idea that people actually want to play. once you make successful games with a strategy-first approach and you start earning from those games, then you can travel into the land of making passion projects, making more complex game, making more unique ideas that haven't been done. But before you get there, you need to start with lower risk ideas. See, where does following passion alone lead devs? It leads devs into the ground, because what they end up doing is not making the next jailbreak, not making a masterpiece on day one. It leads them to having super high expectations and perfectionism that makes it so that they can't even make a game that they're happy with. They end up working for weeks and weeks and weeks trying to make Call of Duty and Roblox, the best shooter that's ever been released on the platform, with perfect realistic graphics of everything you can imagine, full gun customization, all of it. And then they burn out within 2 weeks and quit Roblox development forever. This happens to countless devs. It's the classic story. I even did it. I just decided to shift my approach eventually. I decided that I would make a simple game with my cousin, Jimmy, in Jimmy Games. And we made the game Sussy Imposter Land. At first I was like, this idea is stupid. We should make something high quality. Meanwhile, Jimmy was like, this is the idea that will work. We're gonna do this. And he was right. Because we made a simple game that tapped into the trend of sus at the time, we got over 7 million visits on this project, and we made millions and millions of Robux and started a successful group that led to many other projects that got millions of visits and earned us millions of Robux, aka tens of thousands of real-life dollars. Now, this would have never been possible if I was focused on making the most complex game in the world, if I was focused on making my passion projects and what I cared about rather than what other people actually want to play. Make simple games first. Do not make my mistake where I was flailing around for years on complex projects before I was ready. It set me back years as a dev. Now, something else that I did in my career that I talk about is take commission. So oftentimes devs will try different monetization methods to make money. And the reason that I wanted to take commissions back in the day when I was a builder and I didn't know how to script was simple. I wanted the funds to hire devs to build my own games. I wanted to be able to pay a scripter. So I went to X. I started taking commissions for building. I posted a portfolio on the dev forum, and I got orders coming into my Discord DMs. Now, when I did this, I earned Robux, right? I earned 10,000 Robux on this commission. I earned 30,000 Robux on another. I got hired by the Ryan's World Roblox game, made real money, did all these things. Now, I was thinking somewhat strategy first back then, but the problem is I was still stuck in the hobbyist mindset to some degree, which held me back. The reason? I got caught up in somebody else's hobbyist dream. You heard that right. I got caught up in this massive commission building a cruise ship for this guy. I'll admit it, his game idea was cool. It was fun, but it was very complex. He hired me to do this. I was only paid 30,000 Robux, but for some reason, back then I kept going for almost 2 years or more working on this commission. And it taught me a lot about building. I became a lot better as a developer, but it was a big waste of my time. I'm glad that I got off of that project, stopped focusing on it, stopped doing endless changes and fixes for him, and got onto my own work, my own YouTube channel, my own games in Jimmy Games, my own projects that I'm building with Myro, etc. So this guy had a good idea, but it was super complex. He had me make this massive cruise ship map. He had me building this basically by myself. There was one other guy who helped build the top of the ship. His name was Aspired Theory, very skilled builder. But this overcomplexity led to a huge amount of time lost for me and also this guy who hired me. If he instead had tried to make a smaller project, not this giant cruise ship with 50 different rooms and all of these different stores and all of this stuff, if he had focused on making a small scale roleplay game, for example, like one of those ones that just has a town, kind of like the classic game Adopt and Raise a Cute Kid. If he had made a game more like that, that would have been better. He would have been able to get that out faster, and therefore he would have been able to release that simple game. And I also, as a dev, wouldn't have been pulled into his little wormhole. He has not since released the game. It took him years to make it. He has since made many announcements in his Discord. Oh, the game's gonna come out. It still hasn't come out. He's done this over years. It has now been 4 years. The game has not dropped. So it just proves the hobbyist mindset ruins careers. This guy had his dream. He even told me, this game is my dream. I want this to release. This is going to be so successful. The biggest game on Roblox in the cruise ship genre. Where is it, man? It does not exist. It is not out. Now, if he's watching this, if you'd like to work together, hit me up, man. But let's not make the most complex game in the world. Let's release that game as it is. I'd like my 30%, right? So I'm not just paid 30,000 Robux for 2 years of work back when I was 15 to 17. But hey, I learned a lot from the experience, right? And this is just one extra story about how a dev tried to make a dream game and failed. We see countless simple games on Roblox succeeding nowadays. The hobbyist hive mind loves to say, oh, it's cash grab slop, it's ruining the platform, creativity's dead. But these devs are winning. And in reality, creativity is not dead, it is just changed. Whether you choose to hate on that is your choice. But if you are gonna hate on that, if you're gonna be in the hobbyist mindset and you're gonna sit there criticizing all day, you're not gonna join the train of strategy-first devs who are succeeding as we are speaking right now. You just aren't, right? If you stop the judgment for no reason and you just accept this is the new Roblox marketplace, this is how it is, people love Steal a Brain Rot, Grow a Garden, all these other simple games that are succeeding, and then you join in on that train as well, you can reap the rewards. How great is that? But most devs are too stubborn. They're too stuck in the mud of the hobbyist mindset. Oh, I love my hobbyist mindset. Like that guy from years back, right? He was attached to his dream game. Yeah, you have cool ideas. He had cool ideas. But those ideas are best put off until you have the funds to produce them. But understand that what I'm saying shows that the hobbyist mindset infects both veteran devs and new devs. It isn't just exclusive to noob developers. All kinds of veteran devs subscribe to it. I see all kinds of devs on Twitter who subscribe to it. They say, oh, all these games are cash grabs. Oh, business is bad. All this stuff. And it holds them back. If you think properly about Roblox development, you have an advantage. Only if you take action on it. So, get started on your first simple games. Get started on your Roblox development career path. And I will see you next time. Click this video here to learn even more about strategy-first Roblox game development. I'll see you next video.